Good morning, everyone. Today we'll be exploring the evolution of Meta. We'll trace its incredible journey from a dorm room project that connected a few college students to a global powerhouse with a bold and perhaps risky vision for the metaverse. Our story begins where it all started, the Harvard years, from 2003 to 2004. What began as an exclusive social network for college students quickly laid the groundwork for a global phenomenon. The key events of this foundational period include the creation and rapid shutdown of its controversial precursor, FaceMash, in 2003. By February 2004, the Facebook officially launched exclusively for Harvard students. The growth was immediate and explosive. By the end of its first year, the platform had already reached an impressive 1 million active users as it began expanding to other universities across North America. The period from 2005 to 2009 was defined by rapid expansion and the introduction of features that would become central to the social media experience as we know it. In 2005, the company made a simple but crucial branding change, dropping "the" to officially become Facebook and acquiring the Facebook.com domain. 2006 was a pivotal year, marking the birth of the revolutionary newsfeed and, critically, opening up registration to everyone over the age of 13. Then, in 2009, the iconic like button was introduced, fundamentally changing how we interact with content online. Between 2012 and 2014, Facebook shifted its focus to building an empire. This era was marked by the company going public and a series of massive acquisitions that cemented its position as a dominant force in technology. As you can see from the bar chart on the left, this period included the strategic acquisitions of Instagram, WhatsApp, and Oculus VR, diversifying the company's portfolio beyond its core social network. Simultaneously, as the graph on the right shows, user growth was exponential, reaching the major milestone of 1 billion active users by October 2012, just 8 years after its initial launch. With immense influence came intense scrutiny. The period from 2016 to 2018 marked a paradigm shift as the company faced significant controversies surrounding data privacy and misinformation. The most notable of these was the Cambridge Analytica scandal, where data from up to 87 million users was improperly shared for the purpose of political consulting. This event triggered a global reckoning over how user data is collected and used, putting Facebook's practices under a microscope. This brings us to the current era, which began in 2021 with the pivot to Meta. To signify a foundational shift in focus towards the next chapter of the internet, the company rebranded, betting its entire future on immersive virtual experiences. This creates a dual focus. While the core family of apps remains crucial, significant investment, represented by the orange segment in the chart, is being funneled into Reality Labs to build the metaverse. The vision is to develop a new computing platform centered on virtual and augmented reality, aiming to fundamentally change how we socialize, work, and interact with technology. So, how does this all work financially? Let's break down Meta's business model. Its premise is simple: connecting the world and monetizing attention. While its core services are free to users, its revenue engine is one of the most powerful advertising platforms ever created, a model that is now funding the future of virtual reality. This empire is built on two critical assets: data and attention, drawn from an enormous and engaged user base. This chart shows the monthly active users across its key platforms, with Facebook leading at nearly 3 billion users, followed by WhatsApp and Instagram at around 2 billion each. This vast network allows Meta to gather unparalleled data insights, which directly fuel its powerful advertising engine. Drilling down further, we see that targeted advertising is the undisputed powerhouse of the company, accounting for approximately 98% of its income. As the donut chart clearly illustrates, revenue from Reality Labs and other sources is still a tiny fraction of the whole. The path to monetization is a straightforward three-step process. It begins with data collection from user activity, which enables sophisticated ad targeting. This culminates in a real-time ad auction, where advertisers bid to display their ads to hyper-specific audience segments. And this targeting is incredibly sophisticated. Meta allows advertisers to segment audiences based on four key pillars: demographics, such as age, gender, language, and location; interests, based on hobbies, pages users have liked, and topics they engage with; behaviors, including past purchase history, device usage, and even off-platform activity; and custom audiences, which allows businesses to target existing customers or find new lookalike users who are similar to them. While it's a small part of current revenue, Meta is investing tens of billions into its Reality Labs division. This is the future bet. The strategy has two main components. First, hardware sales, which is the initial entry point into the metaverse. This includes selling Meta Quest VR headsets and Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses directly to consumers to build the user base. Second, the long-term vision of a future metaverse economy. This aims to create self-sustaining revenue streams beyond advertising through things like selling virtual goods and taking commissions on transactions within its VR platforms. All of this creates a highly profitable and self-sustaining ecosystem, which we can call the value cycle. For users, it provides free platforms to connect, share, and experience new virtual worlds. For advertisers, it offers unparalleled access to a massive, highly specific audience to grow their businesses. And for Meta, it creates a profitable loop where ad revenue funds the innovation that keeps users engaged and attracts new ones, keeping the entire cycle going. However, Meta does not operate in a vacuum. It is navigating a complex landscape and fighting a multi-front war for the future. The company is fending off fierce rivals for user attention and ad revenue, while simultaneously betting billions on the unproven promise of the metaverse. Let's look at the key competitors shaping its path forward. This competitive threat radar helps visualize the intensity of this multi-front war. The larger the area on the chart, the more contested the front. As you can see, the pressure is highest in its core domains of social media and attention and digital advertising. But significant challenges are also present in messaging and the emerging field of future platforms, VR and AR. Here's a breakdown of the key players on each of those fronts. In social media and attention, it faces TikTok, which dominates youth culture, YouTube, the leader in long-form video, and platforms like Snapchat and X. In digital advertising, its main rivals are Google, the undisputed leader in search, and Amazon, a rapidly growing force. In messaging, platforms like Telegram and Signal are gaining traction on privacy, while Apple's iMessage has a powerful network effect. And in future platforms, it's up against formidable opponents like Apple with its Vision Pro, and Microsoft, which is focusing on enterprise applications. Beyond direct rivals, Meta faces significant operational and existential threats. We've grouped them into 5 key hurdles. First, regulatory scrutiny. Global regulators are tightening their grip, with antitrust lawsuits and data privacy laws like GDPR directly challenging Meta's ad-driven business model. Second, the youth problem. Facebook's user base is aging. Younger generations are flocking to more dynamic platforms, making it difficult for Meta to stay culturally relevant. Third, the advertising squeeze. Revenue is under pressure from features like Apple's app tracking transparency, which limits ad targeting, and a slowing global economy. The fourth hurdle is eroding public trust. Years of data privacy scandals and content moderation struggles have damaged Meta's public image, which complicates user retention and makes regulatory intervention more likely. And finally, the fifth hurdle is the metaverse gamble itself. Meta is investing tens of billions with very little revenue to show for it so far. It is a high-risk, high-reward bet on a future that the mainstream public has not yet fully embraced. So, what is the key takeaway from all of this? Meta is fighting to defend its current social media empire from agile competitors while simultaneously pouring billions into an uncertain virtual future, all under the watchful eye of global regulators. Its ultimate success hinges on winning today's battles while correctly predicting and building tomorrow's platform. To conclude, let's ground our discussion in the latest numbers. This snapshot shows a total revenue of $40.1 billion, an 11% increase year over year, and a net income of $12.4 billion. The company serves a staggering 3.24 billion daily active people across its platforms. And critically, the revenue breakdown by segment highlights the current reality. The family of apps generates $39.7 billion, while Reality Labs contributes just $400 million. This underscores both the current strength of the advertising business and the long road ahead for the metaverse vision. Thank you.